always said success comes with destiny, but believe me, Success Foundation makes sure that success comes to your doors. Success Foundation is an NGO with the mission of empowering people with right kind of skill set that would help them face the world in a more confident manner. Success Foundation believes that given the right kind of environment to grow, every person has the potential to make it really, really big. They believe in creating the right kind of mindset first for carrying out the business as well at work, for which they have taken initiative to change for good. Hi, this is Kanika in conversation with a very successful entrepreneur, outstanding orator, motivational speaker and a volunteer with Success Foundation. I am talking about none other than Mr. Shivaram Kumar. My pleasure to welcome you, Mr. Kumar, on the show.
Thank you very much. Kanika.
So before we discuss anything which is common between both of us, and that is films, let's talk about success. What does success mean to you?
Well, success is relative. You know, many people have different definitions. But to me, what is important? First is health. Success in health. Then it's peace of mind, right? Then great relationships. Yeah. This is the priority in our home, you know. And then joy and laughter. That's very important. I need to laugh every day. And then pursuing a worthwhile dream or a goal. Because happiness is in the process of accomplishing a goal, even more than the accomplishment itself. So to me, this is what constitutes success. That's my definition of success.
As you said that everybody has a different definition of success, but I will take this as a piece of advice that success means good health, good relationship and your self-esteem.
Yes.
That is simply brilliant.
Yeah.
But I have a question that why do youth fail in achieving success?
Yeah, I mean, we can differentiate between youth and older people, and generally it could be said that the youth are a little reckless. You know, they might be reckless when they make their decisions, because, you know, when I was in my 20s, I felt I knew everything, right? Okay, but failure, I believe that if you ask why they fail, it's for the same reason that older people fail. They don't know what they don't know. It's a blind spot. Experience is the best teacher, provided it is somebody else's experience.
That means that you need a mentor.
Exactly.
So from where do we get that mentor? Tell me.
I really believe that if you ask, you shall receive. Most people are afraid to ask. Most successful people are approachable.
When student is ready,
the teacher appears. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Indeed, yeah. And you know, of course, it won't be handed in a platter. There might be challenges. You know, sometimes you wait a few hours or a few days to get in touch with someone. But I believe that people that have achieved success are willing to give away their experience for free to others.
So as you said that in your 20s, you were very confident that you knew everything. So how did you achieve success and how many problems did you face?
Well, you know, you achieve success by failing, really. You know, people say, how do you make the right decisions? By making a lot of wrong decisions. You know, you figure things out as you go on the fly. You know, initially my first significant achievement so far as a so-called achievement was when I was applying for my scholarship in the US. I want to do my master's degree. I did something very unique. I applied to the universities and I showed up in the US on a concession airline ticket because my sister worked for the airline, and I went from university to university in a Greyhound bus and talked to the graduate advisors, and you know, maybe 11 of them said no, but finally somebody said yes, I will give you a teaching assistantship and a full scholarship, you know. So unless you're willing to fail, you cannot succeed.
Try till you succeed.
Yeah, unfortunately failure has a taboo. You know, at least when I was in school in Mumbai, you know, the guy that failed always had the last seat, you know.
Right.
I'm not saying we should fail. I'm not saying people should specialize in failing. But in real life, unless you're willing to fail, you really cannot succeed.
So sir, it is important that how do you take your failures?
Yeah, I mean, you got to learn from it. Failing time is learning time. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to read one of your books. Are you writing?
I have started 4 books that but I haven't really gone into it. You know, I've not really started.
So is it a kind of autobiography or
no? Actually,
motivational
one is a biography of somebody else.
Oh.
Okay, but a couple of them are books that that come from my heart. And I don't want to write another motivational book just like that, you know. I want this to have something. Every author says that, of course, something unique, you know, something special there. And I've had enough life lessons that I feel that, you know, would benefit others.
And I am ready for a lesson here. Well, coming back to Success Foundation, they specialize in entrepreneurship programs, employability programs. So your contribution towards it?
Okay, so what I have done for the last 20 years and what Success University does is there's a natural flow there. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Is that there is a lot of intangibles, things that you can't touch and feel, that impacts somebody's ability to succeed in something. You know, you can have somebody that is dedicated and that is sincere, but they lack some soft skills, and this is usually not taught in school. You know, like even simple things like what to wear or what to say. You know, sometimes it's a hygiene thing. You know, and I have done some talks at SIS College in Chetna and Mumbai, and even to about 700 freelance insurance agents at Birla Matushri. I did this pro bono. I didn't, you know, I didn't do it for any commercial reasons. And I saw that I also talked to some top executives in insurance, and I saw that they were eager to learn what we knew. You know, for example, you know, how to encompass, for example, a person like a freelance insurance agent, for example. Their family is also sacrificing when they go out and do work in the evenings, apart from their job. So when you recognize them, recognize the family, and make it a real recognition. You know, make it snazzy, make it, you know, fun. And a lot of the companies have not invested in that. Kids get out of school, and there are all these jobs, and there are all these kids, but they don't get the jobs. A lot of them, because the soft skills are missing. Relationship, ability to relate, even say a greeting. These small little things. You know, I once, and I do this often when I do my talks. You know, I ask people, "Have you been bitten by an elephant?" They say no, right? How about have you been bitten by a cow? Kanika, by a cow. Have you been bitten by a cow? How about a dog? Have you been bitten by a dog?
No.
How about a mosquito?
I'm scared of dogs.
How about a mosquito? Have you been bitten by a mosquito?
Yes.
See, it's the little things that get you, right? So the little things are not being taught, and we can really, and the little things are really big things.
Right.
And Global Success University has the foundation for that. Just recently, Success University trained 7,500 people, trained them to be trainers, you know, and also students, give them soft skill training, you know. So we are really excited about it. I think it's got great potential. I look at it as unlimited potential. There is a dire need for that. Kids are reaching out and they need guidance.
So it's the era of soft skills.
Soft skills, self-image, you know, because a person cannot, the quality of a person's life cannot exceed their self-image. It just don't. I always talk to people, you know, if there is a auto rickshaw driver who's driven an auto rickshaw all his life, right? And suddenly you put him in a Mercedes Benz on a fast highway.
Right.
It's just a little exaggeration, but he might pull the handbrakes first, because thinking that's how
he's used to it.
That's how you start the auto rickshaw, right?
Yeah.
That's where the thinking is, right?
Correct.
And unless people change their thinking, they won't even expect better things out of life, you know, a better quality life. So you have to address that basic thing. Self-image is a big issue. You know, people, a lot of people don't even know
what self-image is.
Yes.
So how to work on it, basically?
Have people put so much positive that they believe in themselves more than they do.
Very true.
Because without that, nothing will work.
So we were talking about youth, and you've lived in India, you've lived in US. In fact, presently you are in US. So what similarities and dissimilarities you see in youth of India and youth abroad?
Yeah. First of all, there is a lot more youth in India than in the US. There's more people in their 20s in the US, in India, than the entire population of the United States of America. There's a lot more youthful energy here. The similarities, I would say, you can say that, you know, metro kids, there is a lot of similarities. You know, you're a kid in New York today is, I can't tell the difference between a kid in Mumbai and a kid in Mumbai. Yeah. Everything is information age, and they got everything at their fingertips.
Globalization.
Yeah. But then globalization, of course. But then there's a lot. There's the other economic strata. People who are not that much exposed, you know, to all this. They may not have had an upbringing where they're exposed to a lot of, you know, global kind of experiences. So those kids are still struggling here, you know, in India.
I see a lot of peer pressure here in India.
Yeah.
on the youth. What do you have to say about it?
It's peer pressure everywhere. There's peer pressure everywhere. Yeah, I got 3 daughters. We got 3 daughters, and they have peer pressure at school. You know, and somebody or the other is setting examples all the time. So that's why we tell them about picking the right role model.
So as you said that you have 3 daughters, and for them the first mentor is you.
Yeah.
So what roles do parents have to play, and what do you have to say to the parents?
Parents is, first of all, it's this sounds a little idealistic, but it's how we treat each other. You know, my wife and I. That matters a lot. I know that, you know.
Because what they see, that is what they get.
Yes, I know men that will open the car door for their boss's wife, but not for their own wife. You know, because they're taken for granted, right? Of course, you know.
So you open door for your wife?
Yes, most of the time it depends. You know, sometimes when it's winter, she doesn't want me to open. She wants me to go start the car quickly. You know, because it's cold, right? Okay?
Yeah.
But I mean, if the thing is to keep it in mind. Who is most? You know, I always tell my kids, what you do speaks so loud. What you say, I can't hear. You know, is your actions are louder than your words. So we set an example that way, right? And we also, like for example, we do not de-edify each other. We don't try not to put down each other in front of them, okay? And I believe that this is also important. This can be extended. We have extended it successfully to business as well. Right. You know, if business people would not put down their subordinates in public, because that hurts people's self-images, you know?
Do you see that men and women have different opportunities in corporate sector and overall in society?
Well, you know, you can, there is always, if you look at the history of the world, even recently I read articles about these glass ceilings, you know, that even in the US, you know, women have different pay grades for the same kind of job. Correct. But I think it's vanishing now.
Are women growing much faster than men?
And even I read somewhere, and I am substantial, I wish I remember where I read that people trust women more, right? Even men, right? Okay.
Men have to trust. Yeah. They have no option.
Right. You know, you're right. Yeah. So I believe that if there is a glass ceiling, if there is biases, I think that is changing for sure right now. You know, and that's a very important thing.
Coming to the last question, sir, how optimistic you are about empowering youth, overall the Success Foundation?
First of all, I'm optimistic by nature.
Of course, you are.
And there is definitely an opportunity. I've seen it. We have talked to people through Success University. We have talked to people, we have talked to students. In fact, one of the gatherings, one of the CSR talks I gave, a kid came up and asked me whether I could be his mentor, you know, and we established a connection. You said yes, of course. Yes, you know, we established a connection. But people are looking, they see the need for it. And I see an unlimited, really great opportunity. But even if we move the needle by a couple of percentage points, it will be a big number in India, you know, because there is a need. There is definitely a need. I mean, all you got to do is go to colleges and talk to kids, you'll know, you know. And that is what, it's not something that we invented or we created. I got pulled into this, you know, because of what we're doing. I started talking to executives. I'm not really looking for this. It's more like a serendipity. I wasn't looking for it. But it is an absolute natural extension of what I've done for the last 20 years.
Absolutely. Now, before we conclude, you are successful. You are one of the brilliant entrepreneurs. Success mantra of your life for our viewers.
Success mantra?
Yeah.
Get started and don't quit. You know, and don't be afraid of failures or rejection. I'd like to tell a little story.
Yeah,
okay?
Why not?
Is that sometimes people are afraid of criticism and rejection.
Absolutely.
That cannot let you. You asked me a question about the youth. That's the other thing. They want to please everybody sometimes, you know. They are so afraid of peer pressure, like you said.
Right.
That sometimes they're afraid of standing up for something. Like when we were kids, we used to steal mangoes from a big mango tree in our compound in Chembur, right? And we used to always steal it during the afternoon when the landowners were sleeping. Right? So we used to hit these rocks, you know, little stones, and get the mangoes and crush it and eat it, you know.
Yes.
I was telling my daughter, you know, my dad said, "We are not that poor, we can afford mangoes." I said, "But these stolen mangoes taste better, you know."
I'm sure.
And when I told my daughter this, she said, "Dad, what is the moral of the story? Is it that stolen mangoes taste better?" I said, No. I said, the moral of the story is that if the tree has no fruit, nobody will throw stones at it. If a tree has fruit, somebody will throw stones at it. The moment you have a dream and you start getting in the path of accomplishing, somebody is going to criticize you. And that is when most people back down and quit. I would say, get started, have a big dream, and do not quit.
get started, and do not quit. Now, this should be the success mantra of your life. Thank you so much. It was a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you very much, Kanika. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.